This is about the theory of enough. And it's made up of several parts. Basically, the beginning of it is the gravity volume theory. And this is saying that the gravity is where space is going into protons and neutrons in the same magnitude of amount that time is coming out. So this is a balance of nature, that you don't get something for nothing out of gravity. It's not just that things are falling into the earth, something's coming out of the earth. It's called time. And it goes at the speed of light. Now, some of these notes I put down here in writing so that we can take a look at the list of new ideas that I'm putting in this book here. So here's the time is being redefined to grow radially from baryons. And that in this gravity volume theory, space is treated as a liquid, and so it has the speed of space that's going into protons and neutrons. Now what we get out of this is something that's called the momentum of free space for each baryon, for each nucleon, for gravity. This momentum of free space is a volume per second. So it's the volume of the proton every 5 nanoseconds. So, and based on that basic idea, I've gone through other extrapolations going out into the electromagnetic unification with gravity. And in this, the electrons are paired with protons, and that's what charge is, simply the pairing of a proton and electron. Now, the thing that comes out of knowing about unifying gravity is that 5 nanoseconds I was mentioning there helps to be combined with Planck's constant, h, over here. Planck's constant divided by that 5 nanoseconds squared over 2 pi is equal to 2.5 electron volts per second. This I call the Planck Power of replenishment. And this is coming from gravity all the time in every atom, so that various relaxation times go on for any temperature, even down to near absolute zero. There still is diamagnetism, for example. Near absolute zero, there still is gravity. And there are a few things like laser beams and superconductors that work well at cryogenic temperatures. That's where the Planck power comes in. 2.5 electron volts per second is how long it takes for states in a laser beam to be restored, to be able to emit more light. So let's go back to the final concluding page over here, where I just go to explaining that the various relativistic questions are explainable by this type of scenario, whereas the general relativity or special relativity use the square root of -1 as some reason to have a different dimension. I'm just saying that the fact is that time is going the opposite direction as space relative to each proton. And in that way, the center of the proton becomes important to understand. There are no quarks in the center. There is a negative infinity that acts like a mirror. So I've redefined time, as I just mentioned. I've also redefined the photon as not containing energy, but contains a velocity-like ratio. And it can be absorbed by an atom. A photon could be absorbed by an atom, and that velocity is then multiplied by the local momentum of free space from gravity through the proton. And in this way, there's 8 dimensions looping the time and the space into the electric time and electric space. And in this way, everything is in a balance of nature.